So if you're watching us on YouTube currently, you'll notice that we currently have one more person than Blue Jays have reliable starters in the rotation right now. We're at 3. If for those who don't know him, this is Nate. Nate's going to be joining us on the early week episodes from now on. We're switching to 2, by the way. We've kind of brought that up a couple times, but this is the first time we're doing it. We are still not sure on what days we're doing it, but right now it's Monday. And yeah, things you need to know about Nate. 1, first and foremost, Nate is not a Cavan Biggio guy.
We needed the balance. This is why
we needed one more that wasn't gonna hype up Cavan Biggio all the time, so we brought in Nate. That's helpful. However, Nate is a Danny Jansen over Alejandro Kirk guy, which is great.
100%.
That helps. The third thing, probably the weirdest thing about Nate, he has the strangest hatred I've ever seen towards Hunter Pence.
Yep.
Hunter Pence, and it's not like it's not just your regular like, no, that guy sucks. He hates him with a passion, and it's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I got him to respond to me on MLB Network, so that's a win.
Also, his internet's toast, so he's gonna come in and out for sometimes, but that's okay. Yeah, he did respond to him on MLB Network. It was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
Wild.
So it was a lot of fun. Yeah. So that's Nate. You'll get to know him more as we go along here. The Blue Jays started the season now 1-2. We talked about the first game in the last episode, but I mean, we can probably bring it up here and there throughout this one. Obviously the first game was a circus. We already talked about that. Second one was a completely different type of circus. Jack Flaherty's on the mound. And I don't know, you would expect if Flaherty walks 7 guys, you would expect that to be some sort of run affair, and it was not.
6 of them in the first 3 innings.
Yeah, not ideal. I don't know where to start with that game. I don't know if you guys got anything.
They didn't hit. Like, there's nothing else really to say. They didn't fucking.
No. The no-hitter was broken up by Kevin Kiermaier, which, first of all, shout out Kevin Kiermaier. He's doing way more already than I thought he would. Super cool. But yeah, it wasn't ideal. The one thing I can take away from that game, though, is like in years past, they're known for being a really aggressive team that goes after everything and they don't take a lot of walks. At least in this one, they took 7 or 9 at the end of it. 7 against Thingy.
7 against Flaherty.
The approach is there.
It's not just Kevin taking walks anymore, guys. It's great.
No, the whole team is taking walks and the approach was there, which is great. Now it's just a matter of finding the hits and doing all that. I don't think it's a massive deal. But it sucked to watch on game 2. Yeah. What else happened in that game? Are you going to write anything down here, Connor? What did you get?
Dude, it's just, it was the runners in scoring position. Kevin Gausman just continues to have no luck.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So the three runs that came in this game were all off of essentially one play. The play only led to 1 run, but it was the Matt Chapman fielding error and then throwing error. It was kind of both compounded into one. With 2 outs, I thought there was 1 out when the ball got hit. There's 2 outs. He almost looks like he was trying to turn 2 and mishandled the ball. And then on top of that, threw it away on his throw to first. It wasn't pretty, and it essentially cost them the game.
I mean, it really did. Honestly, I didn't watch this game. I was at work, and I vicariously.
So I'm the only one that saw this because Nate didn't see it either. So it's great.
It was a Twitter. It was a Twitter game for me because I was at work and my phone died.
So
I was in a hockey tournament all weekend. So yeah.
Nate's behind on the specifics of everything right now.
Yeah.
What I did want to talk about is I think it's really funny to see the reaction of the Bo error in game 1 that brought us back to Bo can't play defense. And then you see the Chappie error, which is ugly as hell. And it's just like, it's fine. It's still Matt Chapman.
Are we all team keep Bo at shortstop here?
100%. I'm 100%.
Okay. Just make
that.
I'm not moving him anywhere.
That was a bad error, but it was just the fact that he should have held on to it and not thrown it. Like he wasn't getting the guy either way. That was the biggest thing.
It was a dumb throw, but it's an error you're going to make 9 times out of 10. I said it last episode. If that hits the fence, it's not an error, and he's still sitting with a fat 0 in that error column right now.
Yeah.
To me, Bo Bichette, he's a guy he's going to make his errors. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's going to limit his errors this year and he's going to be better defensively. but he makes plays that a lot of guys aren't going to get to, and you kind of just live with that.
I'm going to call you out, motherfucker. You're
Go for
takes.
It. Right? He's going to win a gold glove. No, he's not going to win it. He's going to be a finalist. I'm still sticking with that because Bo, outside of that one throw, hasn't really been that bad. He's going to make throws that are in the dirt. All shortstops do. It's not a Bo Bichette specialty that he's going to make throws that Vlad has to go do something with. That's his job as a first baseman, is to go do something with that throw. You're making 400 throws a year. They're not all going to be at your chest. It is what it is.
I think it's going to be a lot. It's going to be really interesting seeing him for a full season with no shift. And he's got the athleticism to do it, but does he have the throw decisions and throwing accuracy when moving on the run and having to rush it so much?
Yeah, I think that is the one thing you kind of take away with Bo Bichette is the throws they scare you a little bit, but it's going to happen, man. You're going to make a couple errors a year. It is what it is.
I feel like Bo's issues, like the last 2 seasons, are completely, and now this season are completely flipped. Because last season it was he could do all the on the run shit. It was the basic shit that's just like, why are you 3 bouncing this 5 feet away from Vladdy?
Yeah. The routine plays where it's down up. Holy Jesus. Unraveling is the word I'm looking for there.
Yeah. Well, he'll do the run 10 feet to his left in 2 seconds, spin and throw perfectly fine. Like
now it's kind of like the only ones he's made errors on or bad throws on are the ones that he's on the run, which I'm fine with that. Like as a short, like you don't expect your shortstop to go out and make plays like that. Like that's not really like that's not an everyday thing. But if he can make the routine plays all year long and make sure he's not costing the team, then that's fine. Because even that throw in the first inning, it didn't cost the team.
No, I mean, didn't help.
No, it didn't help. He did, but it was on a tank,
game.
Was it not?
Are we talking about game 1?
Yeah, he only got that was on the first.
The first. They get one in the first of that one?
Yeah. It was
in game 1?
Yeah, in game 1 it was only the first in 1 run.
I thought they scored 3. I thought it was 4-3 after the first. Maybe
no, it was 4-3 after like the
second
or third. Like
okay, so it cost a little bit.
Yeah, it didn't.
I don't know. It is what it is, man. It's you take it with Bo. I think there's nobody in the organization that's going to play a better shortstop right now. That's kind of my takeaway. You could come at me with Santiago Espinal, but Santiago Espinal has never spent extended time in the majors at short, and he was not good at third base, and that was the same throw you had to make. I would argue it's almost a tougher throw from short half the time, and that was Santiago's issues over at third. I don't see him playing a much better short than Bo, if anything, and when Bo's one of your franchise guys, you're not moving him off for Santiago Espinal. It just doesn't make sense. You could argue with me Addison Barger, but Addison Barger doesn't have a single inning in the major leagues.
Oh, Nate, are you team Addison Barger?
Yeah, but like not right now.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
When it makes sense. If he hits his way here, which I can see him doing, I don't know how he ends up playing, but I could see him being on the team by the end of the year. Maybe at second and something has to shake out. But
yeah,
if he hits the way he has been, then he's got a shot.
Yeah. The problem is it's like you're not moving Bo Bichette out of the lineup because Bo's still hitting at this point in the season. It's really early, obviously, but he's hitting like 530. Like he's still hitting everything. Like you're not moving him out of the lineup, so you're going to move him to second, but now you have 4 second basemen that you have to worry about. And it's just not a good scenario.
They did say in spring training they're gonna try and get him outfield reps too. So if he can play the outfield at a decent rate,
Barger.
Then potentially, if Kiermaier is not hitting, potentially Kiermaier and him split time or something. Like if he's helping your team down the road and we're trying to make the playoffs,
you find a spot for him.
Yeah, you gotta find a spot for that.
Yeah. If he hits the way he's hit at every single level so far, then there's going to be a spot there for him. It's just a matter of who's doing what. I don't think he's going to do enough to push Bo off shortstop this year.
No.
Now, that's not to say he can't do it next year.
I mean, let's be honest.
I don't think so. I think Bo's a shortstop for the rest of his contract, unless you bring in a guy who is like head and shoulders above him, or
and
they could have
unless they
signed a guy this offseason. I think is the only way.
Yeah.
There've been names out there. I listened to you on what do you call it? On the what's that thing? Yeah. And you brought up a good point. They've had a chance to do this. They like you mentioned last year.
Story, Correa, or like Seager.
Yeah. Then you came even on top of that. They had this year where Bogarts was an option. Correa was an option again. Dan's was an option. Trey was an option. They didn't do any of it.
They also brought in Semien, who's clearly a better shortstop over his career and left
And
Bo
moved into
short,
two.
pushed Semi into 2.
Yeah.
I think we got to keep in mind too, like how old's Bo? 24?
25.
Like, okay, 25. There's tons of prospects that are 25.
Jeremy
Like
Pena
he's still
is
relatively
25.
young, and he's gonna mature. You see growth in his game.
Yep.
Every year, so
he's the same age as Jeremy Pena, who came up and became this rookie sensation last year, at the same age as Bo Bichette, who's already played 3 seasons. 2018 was the first year.
No, 19.
19?
It's 19. 20 is like a half weird season.
Yeah.
Like,
so 4 seasons essentially of Bo Bichette, as
Like
opposed to
4
the
and a
rookie
half.
season you've seen of Jeremy Pena at the same age. He still has time to figure it out.
Mm.
A lot of these guys that are coming up are still older than Bo Bichette and have had time to work on the craft down in the minors. Bo's still kind of figuring out shortstop a little bit, but he's doing it at the major league level where all of his mistakes are going to be magnified. And I think that's the one thing you take away is when Bo goes and he makes that dumb throw to first base, everyone's going to jump on him and be like, oh, same old Bo Bichette. But then he goes 2 weeks where he plays elite defense and everyone just kind of forgets about that part for a minute. And then he makes that throw again. He goes, oh, here we go again. This is Bo Bichette. And it's just going to continue to happen. There's no way around that. It is what it is. But I think if Bo can continue to make athletic plays at short, he's going to be there for the whole career.
Yeah.
It's not going
I
to.
find it interesting though, because like when we had Donaldson did the same thing.
Yeah,
and I don't
for sure.
remember people jumping on him that
No.
much, but like that was the big knock on him. Great fielder, can't throw the ball the first half time, but
Right. Well, it's kind of like not to the same extent, but Kevin Pillar was sort of similar. Like he made the big flashy play that was incredible, but it's ones that Kevin Kiermaier was getting to standing up. And it was one of those things like he didn't really have the range of an elite fielder, but he was beloved here.
And now that Kevin Pillar's older, can't even stick on a roster.
Right. And that's the thing is like everyone was talking about him like he was some MVP level player when he was here. And as soon as he left, he never did anything else.
No.
It's kind of like you get that with a lot of guys, but Bo's kind of on the opposite end where it's just like he makes errors here and there and people just jump down his throat for it, despite the fact that he puts up near MVP numbers on offense. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
I don't really get the hate. Maybe it's because he has nice hair. Like that's the best thing.
His father doesn't help that either.
No, his father's a dick, but it is what it is. There was nothing else in that first game, was there?
Second game.
Or second game?
Now we get to talk about the terrifying game.
Yeah. How early is too early to be concerned with Chris Bassitt?
3 pitches in.
Is that too early?
No, that's not early enough. 3 pitches in. Fucking. Like
See,
I was.
If you look at what Chris Bassitt did in the spring, wasn't great. He had like a 5.4 ERA or something like that in 6 games. And then 2 of his last 4 starts last year, he got lit up. And now we're coming into this season and he's got a lot to figure out with the pitch comm and all that. And I think that's hurting him a little bit. But the big thing with Chris Bassitt is he's going to get hit. I'm not expecting Chris Bassitt to go out there and have a 15 strikeout performance, go 7 innings and just be lights out the entire time. Chris Bassitt's going to get hit, but it's when he's getting hit in the air at 113 over the wall, not as ideal. You saw that in the first inning. Within 3 pitches, they had 2 home runs. First inning was terrible. Gave up, was it 4 at the end of it?
4, yeah, but like the first 2 home runs, I'm like, okay, the wind is like winding.
Oh, the second one should not have left the yard. That was ridiculous.
Dude.
He got it off the end of the bat into the air, and it just kept on carrying.
Yeah. Then after a while, it was just like, oh, you're just gonna get hit hard today.
Yeah, but his second inning was phenomenal. He got 2 ground balls and a lazy fly ball to right. It was great. I'm like, that's what Chris Bassitt should do. So he found it a little bit and then completely lost it again. I don't know if the pitch clock is affecting him mentally, where it's the fact that he thinks he needs to rush it a little longer and not have the time.
He is also calling his own game now because he has 8
and
pitches.
Which I think at some point you just need to accept that you can't do that and hand it to the catcher to do his job. Jano can do it. He's done it. He's a good game caller. Let him do it. Maybe trust him a bit. I don't know.
I was listening to Blair and Barker on the radio today, and they opened with him talking Bassitt, and he said they were hitting 6 of his pitches hard. He throws 8 pitches. How are you hitting 6 hard? Like, I didn't listen to the full thing, but they started talking about whether he's tipping or not, which I think could be an interesting thing. And it seemed like he was gonna.
If you're hitting 6 of them,
if you're tipping 6 pitches, that's a 6 different pitches.
Yeah, like lefties sitting on breaking balls early in count or like 0 counts and ripping breaking balls. Like something's up there.
I know what happened. I know what happened like in the Rays and Tiger series, but apparently like, there was a pitcher that the pitch comm on the catcher's ear was too loud, so the Rays heard it. Was that a thing that might happen to Bassett?
Like, you'd hope.
I always wondered
not,
that
right?
with a pitch comm. But yeah, that'd be brutal.
That's kind of the flip side of being on with the pitchers calling it, because before, when the catcher calls it, Jano mentioned it last year. He said, I don't wear the earpiece because I'm always afraid, even if they can't hear it, I'm afraid that the batter's going to hear it, and that'll be the reason why something goes wrong. Yeah. So you would think about that on the other side where it's supposed to be playing through Jano's ear. I would probably still have that fear, and there's a strong chance that they are picking it up doing that.
Yeah.
But it's the second time we've seen it now where we've had a starting pitcher try using the pitch comm on that end of things and get their shit rocked.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that didn't was Kevin Gausman, and he didn't use the pitch comm on the mound. Could be something there. I'm not, obviously we're not close enough to game to know.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely something you should be probably worried.
Personally, I do not like the pitchers calling it. Like growing up catching my whole life. Mm-hmm. Like as a catcher, you can read the swing so much better and everything too. You just thinking along with the game. Like I don't want the pitcher thinking that much.
I don't want the pitcher thinking.
Like, just pitch.
Just do your job.
Yeah.
Which
if you've got 8 pitches, like how's the catcher supposed to know that? So my hope is that he used it for spring training, and they talked about it, that he was using it to try and show Jansen and Kirk the way he wanted to call games.
Right.
So I'm hoping this gets phased out and Jano's calling his games, but yeah.
I can't see it lasting too long. It just doesn't seem like he's comfortable with it. And it's game 1. He's got to work out the kinks, obviously. And when you have an 8-pitch repertoire, it's not an easy thing to call.
No.
So it's one of those things. I think they'll work on it. I think he'll be fine. Everyone seems to be having issues speaking on the pitching side with the bullpen. And again, we're 3 games into the season.
I mean, when the last image you had last season was a terrible
bullpen. Yeah, I understand. And then the first game this year,
season,
sure. There's some issues to be worked out. I'm not disagreeing with that. But realistically, in the bullpen, Jimmy's had one bad game. Meza had a bad first game. He was fine last game. Simber, same idea. Pop was great in both. Swanson was great in both. Like, if you look and break down the innings, there's only 2 or 3 bad innings that we've had to worry about. And it's only realistically it's like 2/3 of an inning both times.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the bullpen right now hasn't been a concern enough. Yes, the runs have been there, but I don't think the performances as a whole have been bad enough to be like, we didn't put the bullpen together well enough.
Did the bullpen give up a run in the third game?
Yes.
I think they gave up 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Bassett.
He might get that run on it though.
Yeah,
I think he had 8 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. He might have got the run on it, but like
I'll take a look. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a different thought on it than I do, but I just don't. No. I'm not really concerned about anyone yet.
No.
I have prior concerns with Tim Meza for just personal reasons.
Yeah, and no. Your beef
is with Trevor Richards. I have issues with the 2 of them for.
All right, no, we're settling. Since we have a third person now,
Trevor Richards was great yesterday.
Thank you. Since we have a third person now, we need to get like a middle ground. Nathan, I said Trevor Richards was going to have an ERA below 4. Brant says he's getting DFA'd. Like, I wouldn't
DFA him. You keep him for right now, but by the end of the year, you've got Chad Green, you've got Nate Pearson, you've got both the Fernandezes, you've got Jay Jackson, and Ricky Tiedemann's in this pen by the end of the year.
And Hyunjin Ryu.
Yeah, there's another one. So you got too many.
Mitch White.
Oh, yeah. He's back in like a week too.
I'm interested to see if they go no long man this year, and because I've heard talks of people doing it around the league, and just having like a couple guys that can go like 9 batters or whatever. And get
that's kind of where they're at right now, right? Like I wouldn't consider Trevor Richards a long man. No, and I think that's your guy.
He goes like 2 at the most.
Yeah, same with
Yeah.
Zach Pop. Zach Pop's been thrown in both the situations where you needed a long man, but Zach Pop's not a long man. So I could see it. The way bullpens are nowadays is you kind of just have a bunch of big arms.
You know they don't want Mitch White to go to waivers.
That's the thing, because he's got options, right?
He's got options.
Yeah.
Like
somebody's gonna pick him up, like Pittsburgh or
Cincinnati.
That's a project that I would say 13 teams around the league would probably take without even second.
The Dodgers might take it back.
Sure. They obviously found something there with him last year. They could do it again.
Yeah.
So on my Tim Mesa beef, because you mentioned something last episode and it kind of got me thinking about it. I would argue around the league, 2 of the top 5 bullpens probably come from the Mariners and the Astros, right? They're probably, if not top 5, maybe top 3.
Yeah, they don't have a single lefty.
Neither of them have a lefty. So this whole conversation that people bring up about how Tim Mesa needs to be there because he's the lefty, I'm not really here for it. If you can get lefties out as a righty, then you're just as effective as having a lefty that can only get lefties.
Are there lefties? I can't think of a lefty off the top of my head that I'm like, oh, I need to bring a lefty for. Like, look at Jordan in the playoffs last year. They brought in Robbie Ray.
You got tanked.
Yeah, they brought in the World Series. They brought in Alvarado. He hit the 3-run home run.
The good lefties in the league can hit both guys. And then if you're looking at bottom of the order guys, like, why not just stick with your better righty reliever anyways?
I think I saw a stat that after the first game, when he got Mesa got brought in to get Donovan and or Nootbaar. Someone pulled up the stat. Yeah. Both Nootbaar and Donovan's WRC plus against lefties is like 120.
So
and Swanson was dealing.
And Swanson's just as good, if not better, against lefties.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my thing here is, do you really need to shove the lefty in there if there's not really a spot for him?
Because
like if there's better relievers in AAA right now, if you know for sure that Nate Pearson's healthy enough to come up and contribute, then why are you trying to shoehorn in a lefty just for the sake of having a lefty?
And obviously Chad Green's coming and he's not going to go to the minors.
No.
So,
I mean, you have Chad Green coming. You have Pearson who's ready to go. You have Ryu coming in the middle of the year. You'll have to do something. Pearson?
Yeah, I think I want to see a month of him in the minors first before I'm ready to say he's like ready to go. Maybe a month. I need a couple weeks.
Fair.
He gave you the fall is my only thing. If he wasn't in the was it the Dominican League? In the fall, then I'd say probably, but like he dominated there. And he showed that he can throw his pitches with a little bit of command, and then he came into spring and the majority of his appearances were lights out.
I think
maybe give him a few weeks. Sure.
Yeah. I think he's had 2 appearances in the minors and he's had like 1 walk in 3 Ks.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you've seen enough years out of Nate Pearson in the minors where it's just, can he get major league guys out anymore? And I would rather have that project than trying to make someone else work. Maybe it's not Tim Mesa. Maybe Tim Mesa just had a bad outing and now I'm just hard-headed on him. But anyone else, there's a handful of guys that are like, well, can they or can they not do it while they're in this pen? I put Simber in that category because I just never know what he's going to be. And it's dicey. I know that
every time I see him.
Yeah, it's scary, man. He's a contact guy and it worries me every time. I know they were talking about it on the broadcast. His fastball is like, I think it's ranked like 41st or something like that. Something stupid. I'm like, okay, that's great, but it still gets hit a lot. And when he gets hit hard. And it's just, I don't know. That scares me. But you have guys like him. Go for it.
You go.
No, you got it. I was moving on. So
I don't mind him in like the role they've been using Zach Pop in so far this year. You bring him in the early innings, not necessarily a clean inning, but he's usually good with guys on base. And he doesn't give up a ton of hard contact, but he's giving up contact. Like seeing him in like the 7th or 8th inning last year just like drives me nuts.
Or even game 1 this year. Same thing, right?
He had 3 saves last year.
Yeah. He led the league in appearances, did he not?
I think that, yeah.
By the end of it, I know he was up there for a while.
He was up by like 70 something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. I think it's been the past 2 years.
That's crazy.
No, I don't want that. Like,
I guess the arm stays a little healthier when you're not throwing 101. So maybe that you can throw him more often, but I don't know. I put him, he's in that category. I have Trevor Richards in that category, and I have Tim Mesa in that category of guys. I'm like, you need to show me something, or I have guys behind you that can go. And it doesn't matter whether you throw left or right-handed. I don't think you should have a safe spot in this bullpen if you're not putting up the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at with that. What else happened in that game? We've talked about pitching enough. All we've done is talk about the negative side of it.
Yeah. So contract year Matt Chapman is a thing.
Yeah. Offensively. Defensively, I'm concerned. Yeah. But he's only had one that matters. But yeah, that looks like he's on it a little more. He's doing that toe tap thing. Obviously, he went and he was working with Bo Bichette and Troy Tulowitzki in the offseason. So that seemed to do wonders for him. He's hitting balls the opposite way, which is something you just never saw out of Matt Chapman before, which is super cool. If he can find a way to do that consistently all year, he could probably find his way into that 4 spot in the lineup pretty quickly. I think.
Dalton Varsho's the 4 until other
maybe, but it's the lefty righty thing for me, where he doesn't consistently hit lefties all that well.
But it's also. I think. No, go ahead, Nate. Go ahead.
I think he's hitting. I think Varsho's going to stay. It's either Varsho or Belt in the 4 spot. I think they want to split the lefties up because you don't want to stack lefties even nowadays with the 3 batter minimum.
Fair. Okay.
And they've also, I've heard them say in the broadcast a few times, they want to keep Varsho and Chapman away from each other. So I don't know. They got Varsho in the 4 spot has been intriguing to me. I was not expecting that from the start of the year, but
he's having good at bats, which is something I've kind of heard knocks on
his
before he came here.
Is nice.
He's having good at bats against lefties too. Yesterday,
yeah. Everything I heard about him coming in was like he's going to swing and miss a lot, and he's going to have bad at bats. But when he hits hard.
He hits hard and pulls the shit out of the ball.
And all of that has been true so far, except for the fact that he's actually having really good at bats, and he's making pitchers work for it, which is just the opposite of what I expected. So I guess if he does do that consistently, then he'll just continue to hold down that 4 spot. But with the numbers that Chappie's putting up, he would be a 4 hitter on a lot of teams in the league.
Mm-hmm. But it's the fact that you don't want 4 straight lefties anymore. Or righties.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
It's just it's different looks and different types of hitters too, right? Which I like a lot about this team, which a Jays team in recent memory, I can't think of having an offense like this. We've always been home run or bust recently. Back to
all righties.
Right-handed heavy too, every
year. Now we've got speed, we got contact guys. Everyone's shooting the ball the other way, which is amazing to see.
Yeah.
It's the approaches just seem really locked in so far this year.
They still haven't hit a home run, and they've scored 16, 17 runs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of the one thing too. I was listening to the walk off there. They kind of made a joke about not doing the little things, and I would argue that's the one thing they've done really well so far is the little things. Yeah. They haven't hit homers because they haven't really had the opportunity. They haven't had a ton of extra base hits, but they have run the bases really well. They've played phenomenal defense, and they've done the little things to get their little singles in. George Springer, I don't think has an extra base hit yet, does he?
No, and he also hasn't had a hit in the last 2 games.
Right. He had the 5 singles that he just put wherever he could. Matt Chapman's going the other way with the ball. They're all kind of working the pitcher, so you're just moving the line along until you get to the next guy. Vlad's a great example of it. He walked 3 times last game.
He's also putting the ball in the air.
Yeah.
Which is a great sign.
However, when you get down to the trying to work more counts and do all that, I saw it in Vladdy's last at-bat last game. He was working the count. He got up 2-0, and I was like, okay, great. Then he saw one that was very clearly a strike, and he let that go. I'm like, okay, you're still working. It's fine. Wait for a strike. Then he took a center cut fastball, still trying to work the count. And that's one of those situations where you're like, Vlad is one of the premier hitters in this game. I wouldn't mind him taking hacks like that on a ball down the middle. So there's positives and negatives to this whole work the little things type of thing. And Vlad needs to be a patient hitter and not swinging balls in the dirt. But when there's something like that, I would like to see him take a swing personally.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to complain about the style of baseball they're playing because it works a lot. Like the having Kiermaier and Witt at the bottom of this lineup has been ridiculous.
Beautiful.
Because they can do things that nobody else in this lineup is doing, and then they can wreak havoc when they're out there on the base pass.
Mm-hmm.
Although Witt missing that hit and run with Chappie in game 1, that was tough.
I didn't see that.
It happens.
I'm like Chapman. They're like Chapman's running. I'm like, excuse me. This is new.
Chapman. I don't have numbers in front of me, but does Witt have great bat to ball numbers?
He's led the brand.
this year.
Like currently, like in the last little bit, because he used to be great. Yes, he was an average guy, but currently, does he still have the bat to ball abilities that he did before?
I don't see why not.
I feel it was like the last month in the playoffs, man. He was hitting the ball the way
he was hitting
KC.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what he hit in spring.
No.
He was
hurt for the first half of spring.
I do remember he did hit like a couple missiles in spring. So
okay. I'm just like, if you're running hit and runs, I'm curious as to whether or not Whit Merrifield's my guy currently. I could be way off base. I know he used to hit the shit of the ball.
Do we want to have the second base debate right now?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
No.
Judging by people on Twitter, oh my god, it's a
you know what? Yeah, let's talk about second base because Nate's got opinions on it, and it's
okay.
It's something different than what we've said.
We can bring up today's. I just want to bring up today's lineup.
Okay.
Because at the time of recording, the lineup.
Before you get to the lineup, who's on the mound?
Jose Barrios.
No, for them.
For Brady Singer.
Soft, not soft throwing, not hard throwing. Though, right?
Sinker, it's mainly 90. He's like 90% sinker. Like,
yeah.
So
it's probably Whit at second then. I'm gonna say unless it's Cav.
It's Whit's first game back. But no, it's Cav. Cav's at
really
second.
Okay. So then that's kind of what I was expecting them to be for this thing. When it's a soft throwing right-hander, you're gonna have Cav at 2. When it's a lefty, you're probably gonna have Espinal at 2. And then when it's anything else, you're probably gonna have Whit playing 2. And then with the lefty on the mound, you're still gonna have Whit in left because he hits lefties better than either of the two guys that are out there.
Yeah, but the way that people
it's a common sense thing. It's
the
way
that people talk about Cav the last like 4 days, you'd make it think he's like 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. He's reached
I want to point something out to Nate.
Yeah,
I know Nate's not a big Cavan Biggio.
Oh, I can tell just looking at his face.
I just like ripping you on Cavan Biggio because it's funny.
Did you see the play he made on the throw to home?
No.
Oh, you didn't even see the game. He made a great throw home.
I didn't even see it.
No, okay, so you both missed his best play of the year so far. Turned a double play, beautiful play to get the guy at home. So there was a runner on first and third, I think it was. Ground ball went to, I want to say Bo. And then Cav got instead of making the turn to go to first, it was, I want to say Tyler O'Neill coming home, kind of hesitated. So he made the throw to home and turned the double play that way to stop them from scoring the run. Didn't matter in the grand scheme of things because we still got pumped. But like at the time, it still kept it like a 3-run game. Phenomenal IQ play on the defensive side of things. That's all I'm saying. And my big thing there is like Espinal is the best defender of the 3 at second base. I don't think there's a question on that. I'm never going to say he's not. But Cav and Whit both aren't that far behind.
No, they're all pretty close. You don't lose anything with Cav or Whit there.
No. So my big thing is you just play the matchups on who the pitcher is, and when it's a guy that doesn't throw very hard, it's going to be Cav's spot because they do like Cav. They like Cav more than 60% of the fan base does.
Yeah,
60 is light.
Okay, 75.
You would think his name is Trent Thornton. Like,
I think it's going to end up that you kind of play the matchups and play the hot hand early on, and one of the 3 of them is going to earn a starting spot. And then someone's going to take it over. Like it's going to be fluid all year. And with 3 guys that are that caliber, that's the way it should be.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think this spot for at least a month and a half, 2 months should be promised to anyone. Go and earn it. And if you start hitting the shit of the ball, it's yours.
I think Whit has the most potential to do that. The way he has hit, but he's got to do what he did in KC. Like,
yep. And the end of last year.
What he did for the first month when he was here last year, like, because then you're just a role player. But if you, with the speed that he has, like that's such an asset on this team too, and that just brings it another level.
For sure. I don't disagree with any of that. I am a Cavan Biggio guy. I'm wearing the Cavan Biggio jersey right now, but I'm not unrealistic in saying that Whit should probably have a lot more starts in that spot than Cavan Biggio should have. Okay. I do like what Cav can do as a utility guy and the ability to play literally anywhere that isn't on the left side of the infield. But Whit does bring a little bit more with the bat.
But Brant, it's time for our favorite stat of the week, because this literally just popped up 20 minutes ago on Twitter from Chris Black. It's fun on Jay's Twitter to yell about Cavan Biggio, but run value versus righty sinkers and sliders since 2019. Santiago Espinal is minus 18.
Ooh. He doesn't hit righties well, though. That's
Whit
been
Merrifield is minus 17.
Ooh.
Cavan Biggio is plus 16. And Brady Singer, 92%.
Since what year? Sorry, since when?
Since Cav came in the league in 2019.
Okay.
And 92%.
In fairness, that includes like his rookie of the year 10 spot. Yeah.
Yeah. But 92% of Brady Singer's pitches last year were sinkers and sliders. So
it makes sense matchup.
Yeah.
They're going to look at numbers more than any of us are ever going to do.
Yeah.
I promise you that. They know more than we do. I'm not ever going to deny that.
I'm just waiting for Cav to hit the first home run of the year and everybody just lose their minds.
He's still got a chance. Where Kansas City is a pretty big park, though. I don't think he doesn't have the muscle to get it.
We're in Kansas City.
Yeah, he's built like me. He doesn't have it.
Big win tonight.
I better be a win.
The one thing going into this series, we can talk about this one a little bit. Just so people aren't getting worried. It's hard to sweep teams, especially in a 4-game set.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Jays end up losing 1 or 2 here, let's not panic. It happens.
Let's also remember that it's not the last time they played the Kansas City Royals when 10 guys weren't there.
Yeah. The Royals are bad, but they have guys. Mm-hmm. We've talked about them a couple times. All it takes is a decent outing from your starter, and you get guys like Pasquantino swinging the bat. Sal Perez will run into 1 or 2. Bobby Witt Jr. still could be one of the elite players in the league. They can win a game or 2 in a series. It's gonna happen, but I don't think we need to get worked up about that yet.
Mm-hmm. I like their roster, man. They're scrappy. Like they're gonna run. Yeah. They're gonna put the ball in play.
I love the top half.
But the
top half is great.
The bottom half falls off pretty quick.
Yeah.
Did you look at the lineup today?
No.
Oh no.
7-hole left fielder. Everyone's favorite, Jackie Bradley Jr.
Oh, all right. He's going deep.
So he's in the tank.
He's going deep.
When did he go to Kansas City?
I was also wondering the same thing.
I
thought he was a free agent like a week ago.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was on the roster.
Yeah, I also forgot. I saw a video of Aroldis Chapman throwing 103 on the Royals, and I'm just like, oh, he's on the Royals. Yeah. I forgot.
Right.
That.
Who else is in their lineup tonight?
Melendez, Pasquantino, Bobby Witt DHing. Okay, cool. Michael Massey is your cleanup hitter. Jesus Christ. Kyle Isbell, Hunter Dozier, Jackie Bradley, Nicky Lopez, and Nate Eaton.
So no Sal tonight.
No Sal.
Okay. So maybe we take this one.
Well,
I didn't put it in the run sheet. We got something I want to talk about after.
Okay, but let's just pray Jose Barrios has a decent outing.
Yeah. What are we thinking coming into this one? Are we worried?
If he gets more than 1 out, I'll take it as a win. It's an improvement from his first start last
year. I
think
think he'll be fine.
I think it's Kansas City.
I think by the end of the year, he's maybe not gonna be exactly where he was 2 years ago, but he's gonna bounce back.
Yeah,
he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be if he throws his fastball more than 10%, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I'm not sitting here saying he's gonna be better than what he was last year, but I think they know how to throw Jose Barrios better now with what he's got and everything that's working. I think with what Pete Walker's doing and with what the catchers behind the plate are trying to figure out, I think you probably see a better Jose Barrios just based off that. His stuff doesn't need work. We've covered that many times. It's some of the most disgusting stuff in the league. It's just a matter of knowing how to use it and when to use it. If they can figure that out, he'll be at worst above average, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see. He's playing a pretty weak-ish lineup tonight. Obviously, there's some guys that can bang, but if you can get through this, it'll be fun.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like
a lot of lefties.
So it's not a recipe for success.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll see. That game's in 45 minutes. Do we have? Oh, what did Manoah say?
Did he call any of his own pitches during spring training?
I don't think he did. I think
he was at the WBC, so it didn't.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think you have to take his mind out of it. Like, him and
Kikuchi are in the same boat. Just don't have him throw the ball. Call it a day.
Pitcher on
6 lefties tonight.
Ooh, wow. no pitcher on the planet is more excited to see the pitch clock than Yusei Kikuchi because he doesn't have to think about a damn thing now. And I think Barrios should have the same mindset. Show up, throw your stuff, do what you can, and just trust in Jano or Kirk or who's behind the plate tonight.
Kirk tonight.
Kirk tonight?
No, it's
Jan Kirk.
It's Kirk. Jan Kirk. Sorry,
good old Jan Kirk.
I think I had to like pull it up again. I'm like, that's Kirk.
Yeah. So when Jan Kirk calls balls or calls the pitches behind the plate,
Jan Kirk was a real person, they'd be the greatest catcher in baseball.
Like, power with the contact ability of Kirk would be great.
Yeah, with the speed
and some speed.
Can we just leave Kirk's wheels behind though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just take the contact ability and throw it into Jano, and we're laughing.
And the pitch
and the framing, I guess, but
yeah. So what's next, right?
What is Manoah saying? I see you put this in here.
Oh, I literally just came up today. So you remember how we liked how people on the Blue Jays weren't talking as much with quotes and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, Alek Manoah's gonna do that every week.
He doesn't have the ability not to.
Yeah. So Alek Manoah is apparently a weekly correspondent on MLB Central this year.
On what?
MLB Central on the MLB Network.
Oh, nice.
He's going on.
There's gonna be some quotes
every week.
Okay.
Yeah. So each week, Manoah will break down his performance, the latest with the Blue Jays, and observations on teams and players around from MLB. Oh God. Oh no.
As long as he doesn't say anything stupid.
Pressure something you put in tires, and I have no.
Yeah, as long as you're not doing that stuff, then we're fine. I mean, I think it's cool that one of our guys is getting like recognition on MLB Network and getting seen by everybody else. I'm like, that's super cool because for the longest time we were just an afterthought. Now it's kind of like we have some stars and it's a little different. So that's neat. But he's got to say no stupid things for the entire year, and that's really tough. I love Alek Manoah, but he's good at saying stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. I mean, he's gonna piss off so many.
Oh yeah.
He definitely blew up after the All-Star game last year, though. When he was mic'd up
three punches.
That's
Well, that's just who he is, right? Like he has that fun personality, and if you see that more, you're gonna love it.
As crazy as it sounds, I think his mom was more famous than him until that All-Star game.
I don't think you're wrong.
Like,
yeah. At least like league-wise, I think you might be right. It's like it's Alek Manoah's beloved here.
Alek Manoah's
I would probably put him at the top of the list in terms of beloved Blue Jays right now. I think he's above Vlad.
Yeah, because
he wears the 6 on his back, for God's sake. It's close. Yeah, it is close. Nothing really beats when Vlad hits a tank and just the crowd just explodes because it's so fun to see, man. He hits it so goddamn hard.
Manoah striking out the third guy of an inning and like pounding his glove coming off the mound, though. It's
pretty sick.
I need one game. I need Alek Manoah to do what that dude in Venezuela did in the WBC.
Just fucking lose it.
Rip the shirt, throw the hands, like because do it at Yankee Stadium. Just fuck it.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Before we move on from Jays, you guys got anything? Better go for it.
I was just say, who was it a couple years? Was it Gratterall in the playoffs who came off the mound and threw his glove at the bench and his hat and everything?
Yeah.
We need that.
He could be the Brewster Gratterall. Anything else on the Blue Jays you guys want to talk about before we move on?
I mean, we do have like a quick piece of sad news. Pete Walker left the team recently. He's going to
his dad passed away. Right?
Yeah, death of his father. So condolences to Pete Walker and that family. But yeah, all right, that's a terrible.
Nate, anything?
Nope, I'm all good.
Nothing. We didn't not cover anything you wanted to yell about.
Nope.
Perfect. League news. This just dropped 20 minutes ago. Anthony Rendon will be suspended 5 games for his altercation with a fan in Oakland.
5 is fucking harsh.
5 games. I loved it.
5
I don't know
harsh,
about you guys. Nate
awesome.
sent it to me, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is fucking great."
That's great.
It was hilarious.
That's what we need.
I think that's exactly what we need. Like, if you're gonna run your mouth to someone that's within reach, I think you have to expect that's probably gonna happen.
My thing when I saw the video was, oh, there's more A's fans than I thought.
Yeah, it was pretty full.
It was full, dude. Like,
yeah, you're right. No, I don't know. A lot of people online were talking about how he needs to be more professional and blah blah blah. I'm like, he's still a human being.
Oh, I'm fully prepared for this to happen at a Jays game this year.
Oh my God, it's gonna be a nightmare. I guarantee you something's gonna happen at some point this year with the bullpen being so close to people.
Yeah.
Isn't there a bar like right there too?
Yeah. and a bleacher
that's not
section
good.
where you can just show up and
Yeah.
stand
Yeah, isn't
there.
that bleacher thing is first come first serve?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel so bad for everyone working there. I've said this in like 4 straight episodes, but it's going to be a nightmare for the security, man.
yeah, they got what, 8 days? Buckle up. Like,
If Mike Clevenger isn't suspended for 5 games after his time here next
probably
couple
going
weeks,
to a Mike Clevenger game. So
someone's going to say the wrong thing to
I'm
Mike.
gonna be at
Clevenger.
that game. Like,
It might be one of us, but someone's going to say the wrong thing to Mike Clevenger, and he's going to do what Rendon did. It's going to happen. Like, it is what it is. 5, too much, too little, just right. What do you think?
that's harsh. Like,
I think I
it's
saw
probably
something that they figured it was gonna be like 3 because was it Garrett had some with a fan, so they figured it'd be something along that. 5's a lot.
Okay.
yeah, it is.
I think from a league standpoint, it's probably spot on.
Mhm.
Like, you don't really want your
Yeah, you
players
can't have
going
that.
after fans. As a fan, I think it's a little excessive. I think the guy probably deserved it, but I don't know. The suspension's probably spot on where it needs to be, but it's not where I would want it to be.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys getting what we deserve, did we talk about the Dodgers fan last week?
No,
Or is that after?
No, we did. It was during. No, that was before our pod on Friday,
And we didn't
still
get
talk
it
about
in. Right. I think I saw the video afterwards.
Dude,
he got his shit rocked.
he got speared. Like,
That was a good tackle.
it was great. Like,
Well deserved. No, am I the only one on that side?
no, like,
100%. Why are you on the field?
Exactly. Thank you. Everyone else is just like, oh, he didn't need to hit him that hard. I'm like, yeah, he did.
yeah, he did. If all security sees dude on the field pull something out of his pocket, like,
True.
like,
I mean, I understand the point where he wasn't really close to anyone, so he didn't really pose a threat to any of the players, but you don't need to be there, and you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
I mean,
That's
he
the
got
main
ultimate.
thing
I
here.
mean, did he win a stupid prize? He's famous now, and he got a fiance. So
Probably got a couple of broken ribs, but
Doesn't that also like guarantee you a lifetime ban from?
Oh, I think
at
you
least
get-
I think
part,
so.
If not
I
all
think
of them.
so, right?
I think they announced that today. Hold on, let me just look it up.
I don't know if
That's,
it's all of them, but it's at least Dodger Stadium for sure.
It's at least Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, he got a 1-year ban.
1 year.
1 year.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's fine.
Like-
He can come back next year when they sign
But
Ohtani.
holy
Watch all that.
shit.
It's, I mean, I don't feel bad.
Yo, I'm
in
looking at the video
slightest.
again. Oh my god, it was like straight
Got him,
chest.
dude.
It was like shoulder to chest. Like,
That was NFL tackle
it
stuff.
was beautiful.
I loved it.
It was like some
I
Sean
think he
Taylor.
earned every bit of that one.
Yeah, it was like some Ray Lewis shit. That was great.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm glad you're both on that side because everything I saw online was just like, well, you didn't need to hit him that hard. I'm like, yeah,
No.
you did, man.
No, you did.
Perfect.
Absolutely needed to hit him that
You
hard.
did purely for my entertainment, but like,
I'm here for the security guy on that one. Shout out to him.
yeah.
What do we got?
What is this?
I want to talk about this list. I
Yeah.
didn't transition very well out of the Cardinals series, but
No.
obviously Jordan Walker made his debut
Mhm.
for the Cardinals. 20-year-old my ass. But so they posted a list of the youngest players to debut from each draft year, I believe it is. Sorry, I'm still trying to
Is it draft
pull it
year or
up here. I
birth year?
lost it. Oh, it's birth year. Sorry, thank you.
I was gonna say because
yeah, so birth
like
year.
Jordan Walker was not drafted in 2002. Like,
The list to me is comical because there's some legends and then there's some others. So it starts from 77. You got Andrew Jones, Aramis Ramirez, Adrian Beltre, Albert Pujols, Carlos Zambrano, Willie Mo Pena, Edgar Gonzalez, Andres Blanco, Fabio Castro. Anyone?
nope,
No.
nope, not a.
Then it comes
single-
back. Felix Hernandez, Justin Upton, Clayton Kershaw, Madison Bumgarner, Starlin Castro, Julio Teheran had some years, so I won't bash
Mhm.
him too much.
They brought him up so young too. I remember.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Bryce Harper, Jurickson Profar was a number 1 prospect. Cool. Rougned Odor.
Rougned Odor's a 94.
Rougned
Oh, he has.
Odor.
So is he from Venezuela?
Venezuela?
But this is what I know. He is
He's
the
not
youngest
24.
of 4 brothers
All the
that
Rougneds.
are all Rougned Odor. And
I
apparently
forgot
this
about
is a thing in Latin American countries. You just name all your children the same name and then give your youngest or the best one at baseball, the youngest one's birth certificate.
Jesus.
Apparently that's
Well, that was the
legitimate
thing with Fausto Carmona,
So-
right? I don't remember what his initial name was or what he
There
changed
were
it to.
there were a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Wasn't Miguel Tejada? Like
Albert Pujols?
is not-
I feel like Albert Pujols retired at the age of 50. Like,
Yeah. Like there's a bunch. So I could absolutely see it. Moving on, redacted. Then Julio Urias.
you can say redacted's name.
It's a dick.
Fine. The guy
Roberto
who closed
Osuna.
on the guy, you could have just said the guy who closed on the 2015
Roberto
teams.
Osuna, Julio Urias, Ozzy Albies, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis. I'm gonna skip 2000 because we're gonna come back, and then it's Wander Franco, Jordan Walker. I'll give you $20 if you're not looking at the list. I'll give you $20 if you can tell me who the first player to make his debut in the year 2000 or born in the year 2000.
I had it pulled up.
I also had it pulled up, and I literally
Okay.
looked at it. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
He was ours, dude.
Wait, was he the
Still
meme?
is. He's in the minors.
No, is he with us still? I think we
Yeah.
got rid of him. Elvis
I
Luciano
swear
was
I
our
was
Rule
listening.
5 guy we pulled from
Um,
Texas, I think it was.
Okay, so
We
okay,
DFA'd him last
Elvis
year. I think.
Luciano's a goddamn meme. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he
playing-
cleared waivers and is still in our system.
Did he?
no, he's in Japan.
Oh,
He
so
went-
he's
he-
gone.
He went to Japan.
He's like gone.
Yeah, and on just like looking up, he made his major league debut with the Blue Jays and was the first player born in the 2000s
Mm-hmm.
to appear in an MLB game, which is
Elvis Luciano, Blue Jays legend, first player to debut from the year 2000.
that's sad. Like
Crazy,
That's
right?
crazy.
That made me laugh on that
I
list
mean,
because
like,
there's just so
the-
many big names. And
I
then
mean, the
there's just-
hit rate on Stardom and you being the first player is
you've got a good chance.
Like,
I would
you're-
say, like Elvis Luciano didn't really do anything.
yeah. You're getting, like,
Osuna could have, but he fucked it.
yep.
Profar's still serviceable.
Profar's still good. Like,
It's fine.
He just got
Um,
like $10 million a year, didn't he?
Yeah,
From the
I'd
Rockies.
say that's still pretty good. Tehran had some years. He's still around.
uh-huh.
He got a minor league deal somewhere this year. Starling Castro.
He's
kind
all right.
of.
He had some.
Yeah,
years with
he
the
had some
Cubs.
years with the Cubs. Did he? He never won
was
a World
like-
Series, did he?
He was a real hot prospect when he first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was a part of the Stanton trade to Yankees. He was the piece in the Stanton trade because Castro was on
Yeah.
the Yankees.
Yeah.
Who went?
Miami.
Who went the other way in the Cubs trade with him? Was that?
I think he just left.
Did he? I
Uh,
thought they traded him. Either.
No, I think they traded him.
That's what I thought.
Google.
It wasn't. It
I keep
wasn't
thinking,
Chapman.
what's his name there? Is it Addison Russell? That's the name that keeps coming into my head, but it doesn't
Okay.
seem right.
Thank you. It says Adam Warren and a player to be named later. But like, who is said player to be named later?
Was it Addison Russell? Addison Russell was the Gleyber Torres trade, no?
The player to be named later.
No,
was
Gleyber
Brendan
Torres was
Ryan.
Chapman.
Gleyber Torres was
Right.
Chapman.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that was straight up.
I think that was that. I feel like they got more than just Gleyber Torres out of that trade, which is no, never mind. I was thinking they got Clint Frazier, but that was the Andrew Miller.
So who was Addison Russell traded for?
Didn't they just bring him up?
I thought
like
he was
yeah.
with somewhere else. Wasn't he an A?
It wouldn't surprise me.
They're good at getting rid of
Yeah,
people.
you're right. They did.
Okay.
Yep. That was Jeff Samardzija. And is that Jason Hamill? Yeah, Jeff Samardzija and Jason Hamill for Billy McKinney and Addison Russell.
Yuck.
Yuck.
That's not fun.
No.
But yeah, and then like I've never heard of Fabio Castro. I know the name Andres Blanco.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, everyone's fucking great.
Willie Mo Pena is a great name.
Yeah, what a list to be on. Unless your name is Elvis, what a list to be on.
Yeah.
Still great name.
Oh yeah,
It's a
for sure.
phenomenal name.
For sure. He's living life. Another thing, Nate sent it to me before the show, so I kind of want to talk about this.
Okay.
ESPN Plus put out their rankings of MLB teams and their likelihood to win the World Series this year. I'll go top to bottom because this is a really weird graphic and it's hard to read.
I
So
have
they,
I think Connor, are you looking at this?
No, I haven't clicked it, which is like
okay, good.
Okay. I think you should guess.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Number one team, highest
If-
percentage chance to win the World Series.
It's got to be the Astros.
12.4.
It's got to
It
be
is
the
not
Astros.
the Astros.
Is it the Dodgers?
It is not the
Nope.
Dodgers.
I swear to God, if it's that team that I could that 80% of their rotation. Is it the Yankees?
It is the New York Yankees. They have a 12.4% chance, which
What do you
is
mean?
1.9% better than the next team,
Which is the Houston Astros.
which is not the Houston Astros.
Is it the fucking Mets?
It's not the fucking
No.
Mets.
Thank you, sweet Jesus. Is it the Braves?
It is the Braves.
Yeah.
See, I don't hate that.
The Braves have 10.5. Yeah, but
I don't hate it.
Can
But
we-
in
just wait.
compare it, like, oh
the
no.
Braves
we-
have
can we-
10.5, which
Can we
is
not
one-
skip over the caption on this picture that says their time is now for just those two teams?
Oh yeah, true. I didn't even take that. Yeah, the graphic, it just says their time is now. It has two teams underneath it. It is the Yankees and the Braves.
I mean,
The next one says their time could be now. The third overall team with an 8.7% chance. Who do you think it is?
Astros.
No.
Yo, what did the Astros do to ESPN?
I don't know.
Is it the Mets? Okay.
They're still worked up about the 2017.
I'm just
stuff.
rattling like the Mets,
Who did you say? Sorry, what was the one
No.
before you said, man?
Dodgers.
No.
Padres.
Padres.
Okay.
And then 0.2% behind that.
Dodgers.
No.
What did fuck it. Is it the White Sox? You never
No.
know.
No.
Okay. The Red Sox, the
No.
Rays,
No.
the Jays.
No. Yes, it is the Jays.
Yeah.
The Jays have
Where-
the
wait,
fourth best percentage.
We
chance.
have higher odds than the Astros and
Dodgers. Mets.
Dodgers and Mets. Like, no.
Number 5, 8.2%.
Is it the Mariners?
It is not the Mariners.
No.
Is it a team I've already said?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot.
Okay, that fucking nails it down.
Many times.
The most.
The Astros.
It is the
Yeah.
Astros. The Astros have the 5th best chance to win. Do you want me to keep
Honestly,
going until we reach
I'm
the
not
Dodgers?
mad
or-
at the literally flip the Astros and Yankees. I'm not mad at it.
Okay. Do you want me to keep going until we reach the Dodgers?
That implies that it's very far down.
It's not very far down, but
Oh,
there's a
very
few more
far.
teams.
The Phillies,
Yeah.
No.
No.
Mariners,
No.
Angels,
No.
Rays,
No.
the Giants,
No.
the Cardinals,
Cardinals
Yeah.
are 6, and then there's one more
and there's one more.
before we reach the Dodgers.
This has got to be the.
I don't think you've said this team yet.
I
It's gotta.
don't think so either.
I haven't said this
No.
team. Is it the Cubs?
The
Brewers.
Cubs? Come on now. No.
I don't. I'm sorry, Brant. Is the Cubs really
You're
a
right.
terrible answer
You're right.
considering
No,
what I've heard today?
okay,
Is
fine. You're right.
it the Guardians?
It is the Guardians.
Yeah.
Guardians. Then it goes Dodgers, Mets, Rays, and Phillies. They're all in their time could be now section.
Okay. I'm just gonna point this out. I'm just gonna call Brant out. Nate, did you hear Brant's playoff predictions last year?
I don't remember. Brand.
Last year, yeah, but I could not tell you what they were.
He had
I had the guards
Guardians-
moving on to the
he had
ALCS. didn't I?
Guardians and Dodgers in the World Series.
Yeah. No, it made
That'd
sense.
be a terrible. World
It made
Series.
sense. They just had to beat the Yankees
Oh.
and they would have done it.
Picking against the Astros doesn't make sense.
I didn't say it was a good. No, see, I had the Astros losing somewhere earlier. I forget
You
where
had
it
the
was.
Astros losing to the Jays, and then we lost
Yeah.
to the Guardians.
Yeah, this is what I had it as. Because I like before the playoffs, I'm like, this makes sense
I
because they can
remember
beat the
this now.
Yankees, and then I think they can beat the Jays too. Because they matched up better against us. But then they faced the Astros, or they didn't beat the Yankees. And I'm like, well, that's it.
Just humor
Um,
me.
I would just like to point out there's one team that wasn't in their time could be now that I'm just shocked about, and they are the leaders of the they have a chance at 2.9%.
Is it Seattle?
It is Seattle.
Yeah.
Where are the Angels in this?
We want to keep going until we reach them.
No, just tell me. Are they at
So the
least,
Twins are at 2.6, the Brewers are 2.6, Rangers 1.6, White Sox, sorry buddy, 1.4.
Hmm.
Marlins 1.1.
Stop it right now.
This is still in the they have a
This
chance.
is all in the they have a chance section. Then we go to wait till next year. Wait till next year starts with, just take a guess.
The Angels.
It is not the Angels. It is
Because that
the
would've been
San
early.
Francisco Giants at 0.8%. Then it's the Angels at 0.7%. They are above the Red Sox, Diamondbacks, Cubs, Orioles, Royals, Reds, and Pirates, who all don't even combine to make 2%. And then there's the 2 years away at least section.
So
That
that's
is the
just the A's
Tigers,
and the Reds.
Nats, A's, Rockies with the worst chance. I don't agree with that, but
this could have been split up a little better because I'm sorry, the Orioles maybe wait till next year. The Royals, Reds, and Pirates.
yeah, I don't know how they ended up in there. You could have just taken the three of them and pushed them onto the next.
Yeah, should have pushed
category.
them on.
How are the Angels not in? They need to do it now.
They're below the Marlins.
They're below the Marlins. Like,
see, my thing
and Rangers.
I don't think they have a chance.
No, but
I'm not afraid saying that.
Next year.
Well, the Angels are on wait till next year.
They can't.
Which but I think next year they're also not going to get it done.
Yeah, but next year's too late.
You almost needed like an Angels category. So I don't know, but the Marlins, they don't have a chance. I don't know why they're even.
Their time is now, but they're not going to do it category. Like,
I can see an avenue where the Mariners, Twins, Brewers, Rangers, and White Sox all have a small chance. Maybe not. I think the White Sox, Brewers, and
Angels are in that group.
I would say they're about the same level as like the Twins, Rangers, and probably the White Sox. Because there's a lot of question marks on all of those teams. But if it all works out, they could probably win it. The Marlins, I think if everything goes right, they might compete to be a playoff team. Maybe.
Yeah, and Sandy's got to pitch 45 games.
Yeah, and like 260 innings or something. Because it's just
pitched like 230 last year, so it's not far off.
No, like
I just don't
350.
Yeah,
he's psychotic.
I'll give him a shot.
Even then, it's a long shot because they don't have a very good offense.
Speaking of not having very good offenses, how about them Phillies?
It's early.
Ooh, fuck you mean it's early?
It's early.
They'll figure it out. Hall is the 4-hole hitter.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Your MVP pick, man.
I'm not worried about Trey.
Your other MVP pick.
Oh, he'll come back. He might come back by May.
In 3 months.
They didn't put him on the 60 because they think he has a chance to come back in the next couple months.
He's swinging this week.
Yeah.
And then
he's ahead of schedule.
5 ABs.
Mm-hmm. I'm much less concerned about the Phillies because of that. Okay. If he comes back at the end of May, beginning of June, you're not deep enough to be out of any sort of race.
Fair. I could see him winning the MVP.
Bryce, if he comes back at the end of May, I would like to change my pick back to Bryce.
You're not changing it back.
Well, I have it recorded that says I picked Bryce.
We put out a fucking graphic, Brant.
I'll take it down.
Yeah, that. You should, given your fucking Francisco Alvarez Rookie of the Year.
He'll figure it out. He's coming up. Don't worry. The Mets need to figure out something. So, need a little shot in the arm.
Yeah. Hey, I told you a month ago they're missing the playoffs.
The Mets? Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
I will give Nate that. He told me a while back, like 3 weeks ago. He's just like, the Mets aren't. Before Diaz got hurt, he said the Mets weren't good enough to make the playoffs.
I said the Brewers edged them out by a game on the last day of the season. Standing by.
I have them. I might have the message to vouch for it. He did say it. I'll give it to him.
Okay, that's fair.
Hey, since you didn't do award picks, who you got? Give me your rookie of the year. Both sides.
Gunnar Henderson.
Naturally.
Oh, thanks for being boring with us.
Is Carroll eligible or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Carroll is eligible.
So is Masataka Yoshida, by the way.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. No. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yoshida
we both made the same mistake.
So is Senga. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next? Do you guys do managers? I forget.
No, we didn't do managers.
Manager is such a stupid one. I don't like it.
Did you guys watch baseball? Did you watch Baseball's Dead, Brant?
Last
week?
They
did coach.
When he was talking about Charlie?
Dallas thought Charlie.
I would have picked him too.
I'm so excited for Charlie Montoya to win the Manager of the Year. It's gonna be great.
It's like dude,
man, they got like 3 more minutes into recording before they got corrected.
Jared fully thought it was with him too. He's like, yeah, all right.
For Joey.
Yeah.
For half a second, I was like, they do realize he's not the manager of the White Sox, right?
Yeah.
Like,
no, hilarious.
And I'm like, oh wait, no, they mean the Jays.
Cy Young.
Then Goss.
Oh,
I thought about taking Goss before I picked Cease, but
Gossman and I think Sandy runs it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's still no playoffs.
Yeah.
Marlins.
I forget who was. I don't know what I was listening to. But they were talking about how he was a big. Oh, you know what? It was talking baseball. They were talking about how he was a big ground ball guy, and like the shift might hurt that a little bit. Like he was helped by the shift more than anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, he's still gross. It's not going to matter. And then what do we got? MVP?
Yeah. That's a tough one. I don't know.
It is. I fucked it up many times.
Yeah.
You put Bo Bichette in the NL. That's how much you fucked it up.
Who do you guys? Connor's got Corey Seager. I know that one.
Yeah, I have Corey. My great picks. Like
I'm still mind blown that you're sticking with it, but that's okay.
Hey, okay. All right, Brant, you easily could have said I told you what to put on our graphic and said I could have these are my dark horses. But like
no, it's not as fun.
Do you want me to
go not as fun?
Fine. My boring picks were Julio and Juan Soto. Those were my boring picks for AL and NL MVP.
Not as fun.
Then not as fun. But fucking Corey Seager and Michael Harris.
Like Michael Harris was the other one. Right. I had Trey and Jordan.
Yeah, but you had Shohei as a Cy Young.
Shohei's gonna win it, but
make it make sense.
I wanted to have fun.
Hey, you want the fun ones then?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Bryce.
Okay.
And
that was also my fun. Thank you.
Bo Bichette.
I'm trying to think. The AL's tough.
There's so many guys that can do it in the AL.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Julio.
Yeah.
Well, I want to pick Jordan, but I'm not doubling up. So
right.
I'll go Julio.
See, I don't want to say Julio because I want to see the Mariners miss the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my thing there.
Yeah.
Because I hope they suck because I'm just so done with that team and their fan base. I mean,
they lost 3 out of 4 to the Guardians.
Nice.
Mike Trout would have been my basic pick, but like,
yeah.
If
Mike Trout can stay healthy, he should probably have a shot at it.
Mm-hmm.
It just he has
the only person that beats him is Shohei.
Yeah.
The only person that
can they still won't make the playoffs.
Shohei's the easy pick. Like I think if we're all being realistic here, Shohei is probably going to win the MVP.
Yeah. Just Angels making playoffs this year.
That's hot.
That's
Who are they pushing out?
I got him 4th place in that division again.
Yeah,
I have zero faith in the Angels. You know what? If I have the Mariners missing, I have to have someone like that in.
I mean, if we all want the Mariners missing, I guess, and my MVP lines up with my MVP pick. I got the Rangers in the playoffs then, I guess.
That would make sense for you.
There's one team coming out of the Seattle or the Rays. I don't believe in the Rays at all this year either.
Oh, I don't have the Rays making the playoffs. I had my dumbass has 2 teams per division making the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Yep, I'm stupid. Like I got the Guardians and the White Sox making the playoffs.
The White Sox held their own with the Astros.
They did, and then
to give them some credit.
And then Michael Kopech.
There is a better chance of 4 teams from the AL East or West than one of the AL Central teams making it.
It's a shame that one of them has to.
I'm just waiting for this. I'm just waiting for this division realignment. We're in a division with like the Tigers, the Nationals, and the Pirates.
Please, man.
Like,
it's ridiculous. What else we got? Oh, Jake Cronenworth got paid.
Yep.
Kinda.
I mean,
it looks like a big number, but it's not that much money.
No.
It's the most money for someone his age with that much service time.
Really?
Yeah.
How old's Jake Cronenworth?
29.
Yeah, he's not young. And he's got 2 more years until he's a free agent.
And then he got somehow still younger than Joey Meneses.
Yeah, it's nuts. Is it 7 years from after this year, or is it 7 years after?
Yeah, after this year.
After this year. So he got 7 years, 80 million. That's 12 mil a year.
Yeah, the
Padres are 11 something.
The Padres are just doing the old man version of what the Braves doing. Just lock up everybody, but the Braves do it.
Well, I mean, they have Juan Soto's
roster is going to be. That roster is going to be so bad 10 years from now. Like that's
the
scary.
Padres, yeah. They got to win like in the next 3 years. Like,
but like if you think about it, you pay for the hopeful 2 rings. I was thinking about this today. You pay for hopefully those 2 rings, and you're happy, and then you just reload your farm system for 3 or 4 years on the back end of those contracts, and
you're back at it.
A ton of prospects, and if 1 or 2 of those guys are still productive, you eat half his salary and trade him away and
get more prospects out of it. Yeah.
Because they still have to pay Juan Soto.
Who's locked? Yeah, I was gonna say who's locked up right now.
Do they have the money to?
I mean, their owner.
They say they have the money to. They tried to get Aaron Judge in the offseason.
Yeah,
they offered him more than the Yankees did.
They have Tatis, Machado, Darvish.
Machado's not locked. Oh, he just got locked out. Never mind.
Bogarts, Cronenworth now.
Cronenworth.
They signed Robert Suarez to a big ass deal for some reason.
How many years does Snell have? Is this his free agent year, Snell?
I think Snell's this year or next year.
Yeah.
Do they have a pitcher locked up? Darvish.
Until he's 42. They're gonna
they've got a couple young guys still, right? Like, is Mackenzie Gore up this year?
He got traded.
He was a part of the Soto trade.
He was in the Soto trade.
Yeah, I thought so, but
that was the thing is they had him and they had Paddock who were like young enough to get it done.
And they traded
kind of build off that, and they got rid of both.
Whatever happened to Paddock?
Paddock got traded for Taylor Rogers.
Yeah, I know. I know he's with Minnesota.
Yeah, and then
he's hurt. He got hurt this year.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything last year.
I mean, in essence,
I think he was hurt last year too, and then he got hurt.
In essence, they traded Chris Paddock for Josh Hader. So,
do they have Hader locked up?
I feel like
because he can't have many years left.
He's still got a couple, probably 2.
They also locked up Musgrove, 5 years, 100.
5 years from now, or 5 years from when he signed?
5 years from now.
Okay.
Let me check Hader because I know Hader's. I'm pretty sure Hader's a free agent this year if he's not signed already.
Tatis is signed to what? 35 years for
I think it was
$1 billion
for a lot of steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Hader's still not signed. So,
but when is he a free agent?
How many years he got left? 1 or 2?
This is his last year.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because that's why he was traded.
Blue Jays go get Josh Hader. That's your lefty.
We don't need lefties. We just want.
Hey! You know what? It'll appease the crowd.
But yeah,
amazing.
I don't think it'll please the crowd. He's kind of a shitbag, but he's a great pitcher.
Oh, he is actually like.
He was also like he has like from back when he was a kid. I know he was young, but like he had a bunch of like real openly racist tweets that popped up a few years back.
I mean, let's be real.
He's also a Southern kid. It's
let's
just
be real. 90% of your favorite baseball players are
they suck. They're not great people. Yeah.
Racists or prejudiced in some way, shape, or form. Like
at least he apologized for it.
Yeah,
it's the bare minimum you could do, but he did it. What else? Oh, I want to talk about the new rules doing their thing. Jeff Passan tweeted out today.
Kind of just buried the lead there.
Yeah, I kind of. Oh, I also have the Doge on my Twitter on what do you call it?
Is Twitter broken?
No, I think Musk is just an idiot.
Okay, fair.
Sorry, Jeff Passan tweeted out. He goes the first 4 days of the MLB season by the numbers. So the games this year there's been 50. Last year there was 49. The average time of game last year was 3:09. This year is 2:38. The slash line last year, 230, 308, 374. This year, all of those have gone up to 245, 323, 392. So the offense is there. And then stolen bases. This is the craziest one to me. Last year, the stolen base percentage, it was 29 of 43, good for 67.4%. This year, they're 70 of 84, 83.3%. On the stolen base.
That stolen base number is a little skewed to me because Reese McGuire gave up 10 stolen
10, yeah, games. Sure, but even say he
were they like 10 for 10?
Were they?
I think he would hold them.
I didn't see how many. I just saw how many.
I was listening to MLB radio today, and I think they said that the Orioles were 10 for 10 against him.
That's tough.
That's
even if those don't exist. I'll say he threw all 10 of those out. You're still at 60 for 84, which is insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you literally almost doubled the amount of stolen bases that happened in the first 4 days of the season. All of that on top of it, they had 40 pitch clock violations, which seems like a big number, but it was only 0.8 per game. So you're looking at one or less than one pitch clock violation per game.
Yeah.
So did you guys talk about? I think it was it must have been the first game. Kirk's mic or something went out, and they gave Manoah a pitch clock violation.
I did, yeah, but there was one like something else happened with his equipment, and it was fine. But then they gave him one for that
with the pitch com.
Yeah, the pitch com one, and then I know we also had like one that got like dirt in his eye, and they were like, okay, that's fine.
That was it. That was the one. So the dirt got in his eye, and they paused it, no issues. But when his pitch com went out, they gave him a thing. Those little things I think need ironing out. Like with the umpires, they need to figure out when like they're not deliberately trying to delay the clock or whatever. But I think as a whole, it's working pretty well. I mean, to have less. Someone go ahead. I don't know who's trying to
go ahead.
To have less than one per game is pretty crazy. Like I thought we'd see a little bit more than that right now. Like it's April and we're at less than one a game. By the time you hit June and July, you're looking at maybe 0.5 a game, which in the grand scheme of things is not going to make a difference whatsoever. And like the doomsday thought process of, oh, this is going to end a game one time. The odds are you're not going to see that happen. It's a slim chance.
There was a game, I forget who it was last night. I heard on the radio, but I think it was the Rockies. I'm not sure who they were playing. 2 hours and 3 minutes. So I'm in favor of the pitch clock.
Yeah.
But as a baseball fan, that is too quick.
It is fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Mariners and Guardians had a game that was like 2 hours and 5 minutes, but that game was also 2-1.
Yeah.
Like
I was watching the White Sox first game there, and I looked away for 5 minutes. I was just scrolling through my phone for a little bit. I looked up, and I'd missed 2 full runs that happened. I'm like, where did this go? I'm like, I wasn't looking away that long. I missed 2 entire runs on a team that wasn't even batting when I looked away. It was crazy. But I mean, I'm here for it. I think you draw more people in that way because it's really tough to convince someone to go to a 3-hour game. But if you dial it back to 2.5. Then it's a little easier. If I'm going to a Jays game at 7:00 and I'm leaving at 9:30 as opposed to 10:30, it's way different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a 2.5 hour.
No, exactly. Especially for you, right? It's the travel time already on a weekday game just makes it impossible. But if you're coming home an hour earlier,
and I might actually be able to catch the train.
Right. Both of you. Like it I think it just does good things for everything around this game. I don't have much of an issue with the game going quicker. I think it's better for a lot of different people.
I'm just waiting for that game to be under 2 hours and just be the outrage. I'm so excited. Just waiting for that hour 45. Like
I couldn't do that's so quick. Like
for the ticket prices, yes, that is very quick. Like man.
I like it for the most part, but like I think I'd like it a lot more if it was in the 2.5, 2:45. Under 3 hours is good.
I think most like that Guardians game and that Rockies game peak level exceptions.
Yeah. What did I say they were averaging?
Yeah.
Like 240. I know they're averaging.
I think it was 238.
Yeah,
238.
Yeah, 238. So that's right where you want to be, realistically.
Yeah.
Under 2 hours is quick. Like I still want time to be at the game. Like I spent the money, I want to be there.
Right. I spent my $90.
Yeah, but 2.5 hours is a nice spot to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. Daniel Bard starting the season on the injured list with anxiety.
Yeah, that's
first of all, good for him for coming out and making it a little easier for other people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Strange timing of it all. Like it's not like maybe the WBC set him back a little bit, but I don't know. He had a great year last year.
Well, how many years was he out of baseball for? Apparently that's why. It was the severe anxiety.
Spent 7 years out of the majors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently I heard it was because of how bad his anxiety was, which is crazy.
Right. It says he had the yips earlier in his career and spent 7 years out of the majors. I have the quote from him here if you want me to read it.
Yeah.
He says, it's a hard thing to admit, but I've been through this before. I have enough going on outside the game to realize what's important. I'm extremely grateful to be in an organization that understands these things and is accepting. So it sounds like it's not really a baseball thing, I guess. I didn't read the quote before I saw this, but sounds like stuff's going on outside of the game that's just getting in his head, and he's kind of got to sort that. It's tough to play ball on that. I get it.
Yeah.
So wish him well. Hopefully things can get better for him. What is this one here? Sorry, I forgot to click half of these. Oh,
our old boy Robbie Ray,
the last starter that Nate and I went to go see. Robbie Ray.
We don't need to bring that up.
Oh, we don't need to
worry. Wait. You guys were at that September 30th game against the Yankees?
No. The one. No.
No.
Oh,
no.
I forgot he started that game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Yeah,
he did start that game.
We helped him not be very good. It was. We don't need to worry about that game. I mean, but the starter of that game was Robbie Ray.
The last game I went to go see was the Cubs game with Stroman back. and they won. It's great.
See, we did not have that luxury. We're gonna move on from that because that's just we don't need any more of that. Robbie Ray started that game that we're gonna forget about.
Yep.
And Robbie Ray started game 2 of the Mariners series and was terrible.
Yep.
Turns out he's going on the IL with a left flexor strain. Anybody have the doctor analysis of what a left flexor strain is?
No, but Dr. Google can tell me.
Thank you, Dr. Google. He will be on there for 15 days at least, and that is the extent of what I know about Robbie Ray.
Is that a hip flexor?
Do we feel bad?
No.
Respectfully?
Respectfully, no. Like, I don't care.
I liked Robbie Ray when he was here, but now,
awesome.
yeah.
He decided to be different and be like, I'm going to throw a 2-seamer now just to be different.
That is true. And then it started working on stuff.
And then it
did
didn't
you
work?
Does that cause left flexor strain? Has Google told you that?
No, I mean, Google's told me that Teoscar Hernandez is 1 for 14.
So we won the trade
and made a terrible play in the outfield.
What a weird play that was.
Yeah, I'm not okay.
I don't blame him for that, but I'm gonna blame him for that because
the throw was on line to home and it just hit Zunino in the back.
Mm-hmm.
If Zunino's not there, that's actually a decent one bouncer.
So, is it your hip flexor?
That's what I kept getting. So I'm assuming it's a hip.
For some reason I thought it was his arm or his hand.
I was gonna ask if it was arm or leg because I didn't know.
I still don't know, and I looked it up. So it's the only thing I'm seeing is hip flexors. I really hope there's someone that does this for a living listening, just thinking all three of us.
Okay, I'm getting Google images and there's a bunch of hands. So
so Robbie Ray has something wrong with him. We're not entirely sure what it is.
Yeah, it's something to do with his left, which
he's got a left body injury.
Yeah. He's got a left body injury. He'll be on the IL.
It's a left upper body injury.
We can't even really say like upper or lower because it might be his left.
It's a left injury. There you go.
He's got an injury. He's going to be down.
Yeah.
So that's helping my Mariners case very much.
Yep.
Thank you. The Reds suck this year.
Their owner.
They're not good. Harder. It took them what 4 days to hit their first home run. 3 days hit their first home run.
You're saying
when they did.
The Jays have.
Oh, that's fine. But we do we do things well. They don't. They don't do anything. They have a home run celebration and it's kind of wild.
Yeah,
they got the whole Vikings. Have you seen it, Nate?
I just watched it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
The cape and the helmet.
It's kind of cool. I don't understand what it has to do with the Reds.
Yeah, I don't either.
Whatever, camaraderie, have fun. At least there's some teams out there still accepting the fun side of baseball.
Oh yeah, that's great.
The other side of that is we don't even know if the Blue Jays have a home run celebration this year.
Really a very good point. Like, do they even have like an on base thing? Like, did we see anything?
They seem to be doing a lot of like I don't know.
There's like the lean back arms in the air.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not.
Are we rocking the pirate this year? No?
Yeah, I was gonna say like
I don't know.
We go back to the pirate.
I haven't seen a pirate yet.
No.
Like,
did we? It was Matt Chapman's thing, so
yeah,
maybe he brought in this.
No more fun.
I don't. He's like conducting. I don't even know what this is.
We're going back to 2015, where the most fun thing we had was a dude who stuck his arm out.
Yeah. Did you hear the story on that too? It was super lame.
But what? Like what he did?
Yeah, why he did it? Like why he did the whole pair thing? It wasn't even like there was nothing to it. I don't know who asked him, but like no. So he hit out. So they were playing Seattle, and they walked Bautista ahead of him. So he's like, all right, well, I got to do something here. I got to show like I'm worth it, blah, blah, blah. And like, this was early on when it wasn't like peak Edwin, right?
Yeah.
So he goes, I went out and I hit this grand slam against Iwakuma. And he goes, I just ran the bases. When I got back, they were just like, what were you doing there with your arm? He goes, I don't know. He's like, I didn't even know what was going on. My arm was basically numb because I was so excited from hitting this home run. And I look back and I had it just sticking out all weird like that. And they're like, you should do that for the rest of for all your home runs. He goes, sure. That's just why he did it for the rest of the time.
So
Nothing to do.
I heard a different story.
Yeah.
I heard that he went for a high five going around first base, and the first base coach left him hanging. So he was embarrassed and didn't want to put skating down.
He just kept it there. See, that'd be way better. But this one came straight from Edwin, and he was talking about it, and I'm like, that's so lame. You could have came up with literally anything, and I would have been like, you know what?
I like the other story better. You just burst
You're
my
so
bubble.
much better. I know.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
sucked. I listened to that, and I'm like, damn, man. Way to go.
Speaking of things that suck, the Baltimore Orioles
Naturally.
and the Boston Red Sox continue to get a weird fucking series. Did you guys see the ending of their second game?
I did not.
Okay, so it was 8-7, the bottom of the ninth. Fly ball, Boston Tigers shoot is a fly ball to left field. Game should be over. Yep. Nope, Brian McKenna fucking drops it, and then 2 pitches later, Adam Duvall walk off
in the outfield. He dropped it
in the outfield.
I watched the start of that video, and like it hits him right in the palm of the glove, and he is camped underneath this ball.
And he just doesn't close his glove.
Did you put it in here?
No, I did actually. It's the John Boy. It's the John Boy breakdown.
I didn't see it.
It's like I don't think his glove ever closes.
No, like he just puts it there, and it's like, oh, this ball's supposed to stop. Like, oh, man. Like it's, and then Adam Duvall hits a home run that maybe gets out by like a foot. Like,
oh my God, that's bad. Sorry, I just saw it. That's not good.
Yeah, it's the fact that he like looks. It's the fact that he like looks at his glove. It's like, why didn't you close? Like,
they're both bad teams.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Since we have a third person now, we can ask. Who's fifth place, Baltimore or Boston, by the end of the year?
So I told Brant my AL East standings a while ago too.
Okay.
I don't remember.
This is worse than both your takes, but we're gonna go with it anyways. Oh, no. I got Jays, Yankees, Sox.
Don't do this.
Orioles, Rays.
Oh wow. No.
So essentially he's got the Orioles worse. So
so he has. I'm winning.
Right. It might have been Rays, Orioles. I don't remember, but yes, Orioles worse than the Sox. Man, the Sox. The years that you think they're bad, they just pull out this devil voodoo magic shit. Just somehow
if you think
works.
About it,
name me one starting pitcher that's going to do that this year, though.
I mean,
I don't know.
Brant, go back to before 2021 season. Tell me who won that Red Sox was supposed to be good. The Red Sox were supposed to be bad in 2021, and they won 93 games.
Okay, well, Rafael. Well, fine.
They did have Devers and Bogarts. That's a lot different. And Martinez.
Yeah. They don't have that anymore.
Yeah, but they have
It's so much worse than that team.
Yoshida.
Like, there's only so many times you can say these things about these teams. Like the Rays. Like everyone's just like, well, the Rays are going to find a way. How many times can they continue to find a way with a terrible lineup?
No, they're falling off this year.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think the Rays are this elite team anymore. Yes, they swept their first series against the Detroit Tigers, who I think one of the three of us could probably make the Detroit Tigers this year. Fine. The rest, their team is not
a good year
what they were.
A good year for the Tigers is having 2 guys over 100 OPS plus.
Yes.
Like,
so that's not a big deal that they beat the Tigers. And you look at the rest of their roster and I'm like, which is sure that's what the Rays are, but they're usually good at figuring out how to throw. Their team, I don't see anyone that scares me on the Rays lineup anymore.
I mean,
Wander Franco can figure it out.
Didn't Jeffrey Springs have a no-hitter through 6?
Yeah,
81 pitches and they pulled him. Can we
12 Ks.
Can we get
81 and they pulled him?
81.
Ooh.
That
combined no hitters have ruined baseball.
Brant
ruined it.
Ruined
baseball.
Stop it. This isn't a
combined no hitters aren't a real thing. They don't exist.
All right.
Thank you.
See, I've had too many wins here with me and Nate. All right, fair.
Thank you.
This is where I take my step back.
They're not a thing.
Dude, no, it's not a thing.
It's a thing, but it's not a thing that matters.
What do you mean it's not a thing that matters? It goes
it's
in
not
the
a thing
books.
that matters. It's just a game.
It goes in the books.
It's just a game. It might go in the books, but it's just a game. It doesn't mean shit. A no-hitter is one guy. A combined no-hitter is a game. Plain and simple.
All right. 1 step forward, 2 steps back for this group. All right. All right. What else we got? Yeah. The Braves, it's been 20 years and a Morgan Wallen song later, but they're finally retiring Andrew Jones's number.
Yeah.
Like, it took them till now to do it. Like,
I might turn this into a conversation because I don't like retiring numbers for anyone. I think Jackie Robinson should be retired. I think that's probably about it.
I mean,
I don't think I've ever heard this take before.
Yeah, dude, there's not many.
I think it's stupid. I don't see they have their legend for what they are. You don't need to retire their numbers so that no one can wear it again. It just seems dumb.
There's not many teams that have enough numbers to retire to make it a big deal. For you to say nobody. Like, it's literally just the Yankees and the Sox. And
the Yankees literally the other day requested to the league that the coaches don't wear numbers anymore because they're running out of jerseys to give people.
Well, that's their dumb fault.
Right, but
they retire 80. Brant, they retired the number of fucking Paul O'Neill. Like, that's
not. I was gonna say
that's not.
They did some dumb shit, but when you start, like, Andrew Jones, as of right now, isn't a Hall of Famer,
which is bullshit. But like,
maybe
that's bullshit.
Which is
he'll probably make it. I think he's got outfield. A chance.
He literally is Nolan Arenado of the outfield.
Okay,
like
you're right. I'm not disagreeing with him.
Like,
I'm not disagreeing with Andrew Jones. Yeah,
he played too long. That's his problem. He played too long.
I'm not disagreeing with Andrew Jones's Hall of Fame acumen and whether or not he deserves to be in there. But as of right now, he's not one, and they're retiring his number for what? And it's not baseball specific. Like, I think it's dumb that Gretzky's numbers retired league wide because he got it retired because he's way better than everyone else. Like, that's a reason.
Oh,
he didn't do anything.
They should go the other way. Like, no, the Yankees coaches have to wear numbers.
This is your fault.
Yeah. Let's start going to the triple digit. Can we do negatives? Can we have
decimals?
Can we just go back to
no, I'm talking negatives.
Negative.
Imagine being I want to be like
now batting
32 and a half.
Now batting -5. Like that.
Number 9.9.
Yeah, you have your Aaron Judge jersey and you just put a point and you put a dot between.
That's where we're gonna get to at some point, not in our lifetime, because we're not gonna live enough years to retire that many numbers.
Like,
but what do you do when you run out of when you only have 23 numbers left?
Genuinely, how many retired numbers do the Jays have? Like 3?
Do we have one? Do we have any?
I feel like
one
is which?
Didn't we retire Doc's number?
I think we did. I think we did. Hold up.
That's the only one I'm questioning because I know we did retire Alomar's and then we pulled it back.
Yeah, we took it down. It's just Doc.
I thought we still had it retired because I thought Dalton Varsho was going to take 12.
Doc's number's up there.
Yeah.
But I don't. Is it retired or it's just because it's Doc?
No, I think I'm pretty sure we retired it.
Okay. So we technically have 3 numbers, but it's just 2. It's 12 and 32.
What's the other one?
42.
And then it's
42. Right.
Yeah. Like, so 12 and 32, but it's mainly just 32 at this point. Like, yeah.
I'm not here for it. I think retiring numbers is dumb.
I mean, what do you mean, man? You know, it's going to be great in 10 years when 34 is never used by the Leafs again.
I don't want them to do it.
Or when
the Leafs did it so well for so long.
He's going back to Arizona.
Stop it. You're not
He's a Habs fan.
This is Oh, you're a dirty Hab. All right, moving on. We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Get off hockey. We can talk about this
No,
later.
but I think what the Leafs did for so long was great because they only had a couple. And then all of a sudden, one year they're like, "We're gonna retire everything."
Well, we're gonna retire. We're retiring Dion Phaneuf and Brian McCabe. Is that what we're doing?
I don't know, but they got rid of 21 got retired. There's a bunch of them. 27, I think, got retired.
Is deserving.
27, not 17. I don't think they retired Clark. But there was that one year where they had 13 people that got their numbers retired. I'm like, that's just dumb.
You don't have Chris Neal in the rafters. You're fine.
Chris Neal's number got retired. This is my whole thing. What are we doing? Remember them for when they were on the team. Sure, you don't need to retire their numbers so that no one can wear Chris Neal's fucking number again.
I'm just ready. I'm ready for 60 to go on the rafters when Joseph Wall gives us a cup.
Oh my god. Andrew Jones wore 25. That's a pretty fairly common number. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Is he the only one that ever wore 25? No one else wore 25. That's just we don't care about. I don't know. I just don't like
because I was going to say Dalton Varsho
in Atlanta at least. I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's dumb. In terms of deservedness based on retiring numbers, Andrew Jones, yeah, you can retire his number. But I just don't like the whole concept as a whole. Pittsburgh's got some dumb ones. We went there and they did like a Pittsburgh Hall of Fame.
Who do
thing.
they have other than Clemente?
There's like 7 or 8.
I mean, give it a couple years. Kutch will be there.
They also retired, I think, a bunch of the Negro League numbers.
Okay, which is fine.
Which sure, but again, it was just like they weren't a part of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They were a part of like I don't know. I thought it was crazy to have that many people. They did like a whole like drone show for it. It's kind of cool, but it was just weird. I'm like, I've never heard of these people, and I'm like, you can't wear his number because back in 1863, this guy wore it. I don't know. I think it's a dumb concept, personally.
You know what's not a dumb concept? Joey Gallo being back. Joey Gallo.
What he hit? Oh, he hit a tank. I didn't even see it.
In 11 at bats this year, he's batting 364.
Okay. Let's pump the brakes a wee bit.
He's 417 on base at 1273 slugging.
Who did they play,
hits.
Connor?
He has 4 hits, and 3 of them are home runs, and 1's a double.
Who did they play, Connor?
The Royals and the Marlins.
All right.
So, okay. Hey,
so let's pump the brakes a little bit.
If he's played 4 games, that means he's sat too.
How many games have he played?
No, they had the day off in the middle.
Yeah, the Twins are weird like us.
Oh,
I still hate that.
They played today? Early
Yeah,
today?
they're playing today. That's like the right now. He hit that home run like 5 minutes ago. He hit the 3rd one.
Oh, look at that.
So.
I don't know. I wish Joey Gallo well. I hope he figures it out because we just piss all the Yankees fans off, and I'm here for that.
Yep.
But I'm going to pump the brakes until he plays a major league team.
He is like the most boring baseball player because that's what everyone wanted is your 3 true outcome guy, and that's
what he is.
It sucks.
Big man power.
It sucks to watch.
Yeah.
That was a good pitch that he took out of the yard. Just watching that one.
Yeah, he's good at stuff.
The Twins are an unlikable team.
Are they?
I don't know why.
Like I
Rose Correa.
Yeah.
That's a good
I think
start.
that's
literally just
might
so
be the only
neutral to
reason
me.
why, but
They're just like I'm apathetic towards the Twins.
I like Buxton, but I hate that he's hurt so much, so it pisses me off. I think that's got something to do with it.
Well, you also just hate the name Max Kepler because that got brought up 80,000 times during the offseason for the
Yeah. Joe Ryan's a beauty. I will give Joe Ryan some love, but the rest of the team is just super boring and super annoying. I think we're out of things to talk about.
Yeah. Jeez, we fucking went longer. We haven't
games already started.
No. It's
we got 3 guys now. We got some extra time to talk.
It starts at 7:40 because
right.
They decided for the first 7 games we're going to be in Central Time.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Yep.
As always, everything's linked in the description below. Thanks, Nate. I hope you enjoyed your first episode.
Thanks for having me on. That was fun.
Yeah, we'll see you again early next week. As for Connor and I, we don't know. We'll figure it out.
Friday, right, Brent?
Friday.
I mean,
I'm gonna be at your house.
No, Friday won't. Oh fuck.
Shit.
Maybe we could do Friday. Nate could be live Friday.
Okay, well, I was gonna say because
we'll work it out. But
my work. This is the 1 week my work schedule just decides to fuck me over. So
perfect. Okay, well, we'll figure that out. But we will have another episode later on this week.
The 4-game sweep of the Kansas City Royals.
I think I've jinxed the shit out of this series because I've been talking shit about the Royals for so long.
Yeah, I can't wait for Jay Melendez to.
It is what it is. We will see you guys later on in the week.
Yep.
Cheers.